Welcome back to Broken Electronics. I'm Lee, and I'm so glad you could stop by today. Alright, we're here in Studio B, and the computer that is making this recording is my test 2010 Mac Pro 5,1. And we have this going because something new, something I find very exciting has happened. We have maybe the answer to the race condition boot problems on Big Sur. Maybe. Now probably the best thing for me to do will be to jump into a screen recording right now and give a little bit clearer idea of what's happening. And then we're going to test it out. Stay tuned. Alright, here we are. Taking a look about this Mac. The most obvious thing marking this as the test 5,1 is the 56 gigabytes of RAM. It is not fully maxed out the way my others are. Alright. Now, first of all, a word of thanks. I first learned about this from a viewer comment, and I'm not going to make any effort to attempt to pronounce this name. I guess we can say his first name is Mac. So hey. But yes, he posted a comment recently that indicated Syncretic released his SurPlus fix for Opencore, and it works great. Check for OCLP 0.3.0 nightly build with integrated fix. Okay, that's when it first came up. Now, on something as critical as this, I've tended to stay away from nightly builds. I'm not above playing around with nightly builds on various pieces of software, but this. Do I recommend doing a nightly build here? Well, I suppose we'll find out what goes on. But generally, for most people, I say no. Wait for a release. Wait for something that's been tested. But the other thing, I saw a YouTube video was released yesterday. Today, by the way, is Sunday, so that video is released on Saturday. This video should be released Tuesday. But I saw a video from the Definitive Mac Pro Upgrade Guide where he was talking about this. So I commend that video to your attention as well. Alright. So, the current version, and the one that is running on this machine right now, 0.2.5, that's the most recent release. That's not going to do anything for us. It's been working pretty well. This machine has always tended to boot well, and with that 500 millisecond delay, it does boot most of the time. Alright. First thing I'd like to look at, the credits here. The many people who have worked on this, and they have my undying thanks for trying to help keep these machines of mine alive. I wish I had more I could do personally in helping them, but certainly I can give my thanks. And Syncretic is the tech mastermind behind SurPlus. Alright, so what we need to do is get a nightly build. As we've been doing, we're going to get the terminal user interface, which gives a little bit more in the way of configuration options. That may not be such an issue here. So we could click on that, it would download. I have already done that. Close out of Safari. And here we are, open a terminal. Excuse me. Okay, and you see it identifies here as 0.3.0, exactly as Mac pointed out. it's identifying the model correctly. All right, so here are options. Let's have a look in patcher settings first of all. All right, now there's a variety of things we can do here. You know, allow acceleration of Mojave Catalina. There'd be a thought to that, but since we're not going to run either of those operating systems, at least not frequently on these machines, we won't worry with that. I'm curious about miscellaneous settings. Okay, yeah, the boot picker, which is currently true. This machine hasn't been showing it for some reason. Okay. And the debug settings. Enabling verbose mode, and I tend to leave that on all the time. Even if it is going to boot, I tend to leave it on. Give you something to look at. Now here is where we see the major change. Instead of the late bloom settings, we have set SurPlus settings. Now it does warn you that by default this is only going to work up to Monterey Beta 7 and older. Now we're not dealing with a Monterey Beta, so we don't need to worry about that. So we're basically ready to go here. Alright, let's build Opencore. Okay, there we go. Press enter to go back and install Opencore. Okay, the Plex Tour is Mojave, WDC. Now there are two WDCs on this. We want the 500 gigabyte as opposed to the 1 terabyte. This is an old spinning hard drive. This is our boot drive. So 0. And we need to pick the partition, which of course would be the EFI partition. It wouldn't do much good if it wasn't. Authenticate. Maybe I should upgrade the Wi-Fi on this machine. Okay, because I find on my main machine little things like using my Apple Watch to authenticate as opposed to having to type it in works. Okay. And we are ready to go. Alright, so I'm going to have to get out of the screen recording, of course, because it would just die in the middle if I went ahead and restarted it. So we're going to restart the machine and see if it boots. And yes, we're going to do another version of the restart 20 times. Stay tuned. Alright, as so often happens in these videos, I have to maneuver around the camera. We'll restart. Now, similar to the last video I did on this nature, I'm going to keep you with me through this first attempt of the 20 that we're going to do. All right. 56 gig of RAM is still a lot, so it's going to take a bit before it actually starts up. Okay, there we go. Waiting to see if it shows the boot picker. This machine hasn't really been showing it, and it didn't. I assume if I held down the option key, it would. Smooth as silk so far. And son of a gun. Oh my God. That was like nothing. I mean, that was normalcy. Okay. Attempt 2. All right, now I'm going to take some pity on you here. We will bring you back periodically, hopefully with good reports. If we do get a stall, you'll be seeing that as well. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, we've just had our 5th successful boot, and what's blowing my mind is it's not just successful boots, it's clean, easy boots. All right, so I'm going to keep you here for boot 6. Now, this machine does tend, when you're doing repeated restarts like this, during the boot process, the fans will ramp up. It's one of the reasons why I don't do this on either of my 2 main Mac Pros. This is looking beyond promising. Absolutely beyond promising. I mean, look at this. It's not a stutter. You could easily... Oh, okay. It is stopping in a couple of places, but I mean, you could easily disable verbose mode if it bothers you. Yep. And there we go. 6 in a row. Yeah, the fan will turn itself down once we get to the desktop and the OS is really finished booting. Okay, so I will continue. Stay tuned. Well, nothing's perfect. We've got a kernel panic. On the 16th attempt, there were 15 successive boots. All right. Give it a sec here. Try it again. This is attempt 17. We're 15 for 16 now. The interminable wait for it to chime. There we go. This will boot. Yep. Yeah, I mean, I suppose any machine might have a kernel panic. But okay, we're 16 out of 17. Stay tuned. Okay, we've had 19 restarts. The only problem was on the 16th where we did get a kernel panic. So join me here for the 20th. Okay. Looking good. I don't know what's up with the fans, but okay. 20 attempts, 19 smooth, easy boots, 1 kernel panic. Basically, I think he fixed it. I think Syncretic has fixed it. And we're okay. All right. Let's dive into another screen recording, and I will give you my final thoughts on all of this. Stay tuned. Well, okay then. Final thoughts. That 1 kernel panic, it of course gives you pause. But let's not lose sight of the fact that there were 19 smooth, easy boots in there, including the first 15 tries. One of the things I'm going to say, rebooting a machine 20 times in a row in quick succession is not normal behavior. Okay, and if we remember back to the last time I did this, I got 8 out of 10. This was 0.2.5 Opencore Legacy Patcher. I got 8 boots out of the first 10. And then it went downhill from there, and I've had this thought, okay, there's something, maybe something about the repeated reboots. So again, I am prepared to say at this point that Syncretic did fix it. And we're going to be okay from here. Now, I may do another one of these videos when 0.3.0 actually drops. I don't know. We'll see what's going on. Now, let me again, let's give full thanks and praise to everybody on this Legacy Patcher team, most particularly Syncretic, who came up with SurPlus, and good Lord, what a difference that makes. So I am really, really glad of that. Now, difference here. Should you go in immediately download a nightly build? I was sort of putting aside that idea earlier in the video. There are 2 things that make me reconsider that. 1, it works so well. And the difference between booting with SurPlus and the older late bloom version is a night and day difference. But it is true, a nightly build is not a release. It has not been thoroughly tested. However, let's also note that the average classic Mac Pro user is not exactly your classic computer user. If you've had these machines and got them this far, you know something. Some people know more than others. Yeah, myself included in that, I guess. But, we all know something. It works. I am going to put this nightly build and reinstall Opencore on my two main Mac Pros from this point. I was going to say, okay, I'll hold off, I'll leave it as it is until there's a release, then go with the release, but hey, I'm sorry, that was just too smooth. Alright, be good to other people. They need it and deserve it. Be good to yourselves. For us to do any good in this world, we have to start with being good to ourselves. We can make the world a better place. It is not, so please take very, very good and careful care in these difficult times. Now, as I said, I think we're probably going to see at least one more video with this machine. Probably when 0.3 drops. Or maybe not until Monterey comes out, because Monterey's got to be out probably within a month now. And I have no inside information, of course, I'm just guessing. But yeah, when Monterey comes out, we'll see an installation on this machine. I don't usually jump into new releases right away, but this is the test machine after all. We will get back to more Power Mac things. It's gonna happen. These videos of dealing with the race condition on the Mac Pros have pushed back a lot of other videos, as we're seeing here. That shouldn't be happening as much now. So anyhow, there is just so much coming up. And until it's available on the channel, this has been Broken Electronics.